students, welcome to business studies class, and we are discussing about directing. And in case of directing, we know that there are four elements of directing. The first element was supervision, and second element was motivation, and third one was leadership, which we completed in the previous session, and the last element is communication. So today we discuss about communication, that is the last elements of directing. With this particular topic, we can wind up with the chapter called directing. Now, what is communication? We all know that when we speak or when we transfer any of the information, we know that in a general sense what we communication. Communication means in general sense it is what we speak, that we call it as communication. But in case of organization, their communication means there are different we see it in a different terms. What is communication? Generally, this word communication is derived from the Latin word communis. The Latin word communis, which means a common, It derived from the Latin word communis, which means common. And in case of organization, what do you mean by communication? In case of organization, communication, it is a process by which people create and share information. It is a process by which people they create the information, which they create some of the content and share information with one another. For the purpose in order to reach common understanding. Means the person who conveys the information and the person who receives it, the both should understand what we are communicating or what we are transferring. So that we call it as communication. In the sense of organization, communication, it is the process by which people create and share information in order to reach a common understanding. Means understanding to both the parties, to the senders as well as receivers. So this process in the sense of organization, we call it as communication. Now, what are the elements of communication? When we say that transfer of information, when our information is get transferred from one person to other person, what are the elements? Without that elements, that process, the process of communication, it wouldn't be complete. So which are those elements? What should be there in order to complete the process of communication? So that we call it as elements of communication. So when we speak about elements of communication, the first one comes the sender. We know that sender is a person, one who takes the initiativeness of transferring something. That person we call it as sender. So there is a first element in case of communication, that is sender. Then comes their message. Message is the content what we need to transfer or what we need to send. It might be that content might be the personal, or it might be related to organization, or it might be any of the social matters. So there should be some content should be there. That content means what we want to send or what we want to share or what we want to transfer. That content we call it as message. Then third one comes the encoding. Now we know that we have message with us, we have content with us, that we call message. We have our message. Now encoding means that we are converting that message into a meaningful gesture or photos or any other form, so that the sender it should be easy for him to understand. So that process we call it as encoding. Encoding means converting the message into a different using pictures or different gestures, so that make it ready to send. Or make it understand to the person who we want to send. That we call it as encoding. Then next comes media. Obviously, we need to have some media to transfer information. Otherwise, if we make any of the message, if we make it ready and on its own it won't go to anywhere, we need to use some medias. The media might be the face-to-face interaction, or it might be we may use internet, or we may use a letter form, the writing form we may use, or we may use a phone. So these are the different medias to transfer any of the message or information which we with us. Now we reach till media. After that, through media, it transferred it to the sender. There comes decoding. What is that decoding? Decoding means what transferring encoding message. The converting encoded message to the receiver, so that he is able to understand that particular information what sender has sent. So receiver, then comes the receiver. Receiver is the person one who receives the information. For whom this particular information is meant for. That person we call it as receiver. Then comes the feedback. What happens when receiver receives the information? Then receiver has to give some intimation that yes, I have received the information and it is able to understand. Yes, I understood the information and I received it. That we call it as feedback. Then comes the noise. Noise is obstacles or hindrance while sending the message. If you find any disturbance while sending the message, it might be your phone connection or internet connection is not working properly, or the letter or in the written form what you send it did not reach to the receiver. Then any obstacles if you find, that we call it as noise. So there are altogether 8 elements are there. There comes first one sender, then message, then encoding, media, decoding, receiver, feedback and noise. So these are the elements of communication. This question may arise for 5 marks. Now after completing elements, we will discuss about here importance of elements. See, importance of communication is nothing but why communication is essential in any of the organization, that we call it as importance. So the first one comes acts as basis of coordination. The coordination means there should be a better understanding. Coordination, it may be between the employees, those who are working, or the coordination between your superior and the subordinate, and sometimes the coordination between the manager and the management. So in each and every the department or in each and every position in the organization, there should be a better coordination. How can we bring better coordination? The first and foremost thing in order to bring coordination is communication. While communicating, if we bring the things which is necessary to get coordination, then there will be a better coordination in the organization. So communication takes a major part in case of bringing coordination among the employees, or between the employees and the manager, or between management and the manager. So overall in the organization in different departments, there should be a better coordination. So it plays a major role to bring that coordination. Then second one comes then helps in smooth working of enterprise. Any of the organization, as I said, organization, their different departments will be there. For example, it might be production department or marketing department, or it may be a finance department or HR department. So we know that we need to transfer lot of information to one department to other department, and as well as your superior has to communicate lot of other information. What target you need to reach, what is the deadline in order to reach that target, what is your in this particular month what units of production has to be done. So that those things your superior has to communicate. So while communicating, say if your communication is clear, there will not be any kind of ambiguity or disturbance to your work. So communication plays a major role for smooth working of enterprise. While communicating what your superior is communicating, if he fails to make you to understand what he is transferring it to you, then it is not possible for smooth working of that particular enterprise or any of the department. So you need to transfer lot of information, not only transferring information, but the person who is receiving it, he should be able to understand what your superior has transferred. So here there should be a clarity in the communication, there should be a clarity in what they are transferring. In order to bring clarity in the transformation of information, there should be a better communication. So communication plays a major role in order to create smooth working condition in the enterprise. Then comes the next one, acts as basis of decision making. In the process of decision making, we know that we need to share lot of other information. Decision making, it is not the process where the only one individual person, that it might be the only the manager is involving in that process. So no. So decision making means that it involves the lots of information, as well as it involves lots of people's opinion. People's opinion means we take our subordinates also to take major part in the process of decision making. There will be the opinion of your manager, or there may be the opinion of your management, or there may be the opinion of your subordinates. So here lot of information has to be exchanged, or lot of information has to be transferred, or about lot of information we need to sit and discuss. So in this particular place, their communication, it plays a major role. So if there is a better communication in the process of decision making, then it is possible to make up a proper and effective decision for that particular organization, and rest all your working environment, or rest all your work, it depends upon what decision your superior is about to take, and what decision he has taken. Based on that, your work will go. According to that, according to his decision, you will carry your work. So there has to be a better communication in the process of decision making. Then your superior can make an effective decision for the organization. Then next comes the increased managerial efficiency. Managerial efficiency means in an organization there a variety of managerial functions has to be performed. It might be a production function, or it might be a marketing function, or finance function, or HR function. There has to be that your subordinate has to perform a variety of managerial function. The efficiency of managerial function, it depends upon the communication. Why it depends upon the communication? The person who sends the information, or one who set the target, or one who explains about the work, he has to explain it properly, so that it should be able to reach the person one who carries that work. So if your subordinates, if they are clear about their work, what they need, what work they have to carry, and what is their target, and what is their due date, if they are very clear about the work, then their efficiency will increase. If there is clarity about their work, or what your superior is communicating, then their efficiency will increase. So in order to increase the managerial efficiency, the process of communication is very important in the organization. Then comes the promotes cooperation and industrial peace. Cooperation means the cooperation between the subordinates and also the superior. There should be a better cooperation. Otherwise, what your superior is sending, you are not able to receive, or your subordinates may show some of the resistance. And in case of industrial peace, there should be a better peace and harmony in the industry, or in the workplace where you are working. And in order to achieve this, it is only possible through proper guidance, or proper direction, or you need to require some of the motivational lecture, or the guidance from your superior. So that is possible only if the communication process, if it works in a better way. Then next, establishes effective leadership. Yes, the process of communication, it creates the better leaders, whom we can say that leader. The leader is a person, one who influences others, or one who encourages others to reach their target or goal. When he can influence others, his communication process should be good way, and he has to communicate well with his subordinates. Then only we can consider a particular person as a role model, or we can say that he can be a better leader. In order to create better leader, the communication process is very important. So it establishes, means it creates the process of communication, it creates some better leaders for the organization, and boosts morale and provides motivation. As obviously the communication means, the major role of communication means it has to inspire, or it has to motivate the employees, those who are working in the organization. Then obviously their managerial efficiency, or their skill will be increased. So these are about importance of the communication. So we discussed what do you mean by communication and which are the different elements of communication which completes the process of communication. Then we discussed about the various importance which is why communication is necessary in the particular organization. Now further we will move towards there are formal and informal communication. We will see that what is formal and informal communication. Now we will discuss about formal and informal communication. We know that we have formal and informal groups in the organization. So in the same way we have communication. In case of communication also formal and informal communication. So what is that formal communication? Formal communication is such a communication where your communication flow, it's using a organizational flow of communication, organization structure, which uses the organization structure for the flow. So formal communication is that communication which flows using organizational structure, that is superior, that is like manager to your production heads to workers, subordinates, then comes to workers. So which takes the organizational lines of communication, that we call it as a formal communication. But in case of formal communication, then we can say that in case of formal communication there is vertical communication and horizontal communication. That there in case of vertical communication, vertical and horizontal communication. Vertical communication means that is your subordinate to superior communication. That your superior, he transfers the information to subordinate. This is a vertical lines of communication. Then horizontal communication means that we know that there are different departments in the organization. So there might be a communication between the production department and the marketing department. Production department and marketing department with respect to their work. It may be the what type of the product is required in the market. They have to share the lot of information. Each department they have to share lot of information among them which is necessary for their execution of their work. So the communication between the same position, that is horizontal communication. Vertical communication means superior to subordinate, subordinate to superior. You know that vertical communication, it flows from, for example, the principal to vice principal to HODs to lecturers. These are vertical lines of communication. Then one more we take. In this vertical line only there horizontal communication may be there. Here HODs of physics, HODs of commerce, HODs of biology. That is same line. The communication with same position, those who will be in the same position, that is horizontal communication. So there are, in case of formal communication, there are vertical communication and horizontal communication. But in case of vertical communication, further we can say that upward communication and downward communication. What is that upward communication and downward communication? Upward communication, see, downward communication is nothing but your superior communicate with your subordinate, that is downward communication. Then upward communication means your subordinate communicate with the superior, that is downward communication. See, in case of upward, your downward communication, your superior may give a notice to your subordinates to attend the meeting or give explanation to so and so what work you have done. Or else in case of upward communication, your subordinates may go with the letter that grant me a leave for this particular reason. So these and all upward and downward communication. So in case of formal communication is the communication which flows using the organizational network or organizational communication network or through organization structure, which takes organization structure to communicate. So we can say that here horizontal communication, and it moves horizontally as well as vertically. And in case of horizontal communication means the communication in the same level. For example, different department, the production department, marketing department, finance department. So that is a vertical horizontal communication. Vertical communication means it may be your subordinate superior communication. Then your vertical communication, there may be sometimes downward communication, superior communicating to subordinate, sometimes upward communication, subordinates communicating with your superior. So this is about formal communication, and there are some formal networks. There are some formal networks which we use to communicate in the formal communication. So which are those formal networks? So in case of formal network, the first one comes, that is single chain network. The first one comes there, that is single chain network. How it flows, the single chain network? It flows, it is just a subordinate and superior relationship. It is a subordinate and superior relationship, and this we call it as single chain. It flows in this particular format. Then comes there one more network, that is wheel network. That is wheel network. What is that wheel network? Wheel network means where there will be a number of subordinates who work under one particular superior. Such kind of communication we call it as wheel network, where in case of wheel network, your subordinates are not allowed to speak with each other. Your subordinates, they are not allowed to speak with each other. They can communicate only with their one superior. Sometimes with one superior, there will be 4 to 5 subordinates. He will be responsible for that 4 to 5 subordinates. So in such case, your subordinates, they are only allowed to communicate with superior, but they are not allowed to communicate with each other. So that is wheel network. Next comes there circular network. What is that circular network? Where communication flow in a circular format. Where your communication flow in a circular format, there that we call it as circular network. And here each subordinate, he is allowed to speak with his adjacent two people. He is allowed to speak with his adjacent two people. Each subordinate is allowed to speak with two adjacent subordinates, and here also he can allow to speak with two adjacent subordinates. So this kind of where communication flow in a circular way, that we call it as circular network. Then next comes there free flow network. The next network is free flow network, where your subordinates, they are free to speak anywhere. They are free to speak anywhere in the organization. This kind of network we call it as free flow network. In case of free flow network, here your communication, the speed of communication will be very fast. Here your speed will be more and decision will be taken quickly, because here you are allowed to speak freely with any of your subordinates. Here you are allowed to speak freely with any of your subordinates. And then one more communication network is there. Last one in case of formal, that is inverted V network. That is inverted V network, where here in this case, in this kind of network, here subordinates are allowed to speak with their immediate superior. See, he is the superior for these two subordinates, and these subordinates are allowed to speak with this immediate superior, and as well as they are allowed to speak their superior also directly. They are allowed to speak. These are subordinates. These subordinates, these are superior. See, these two are superior. He is superior for these two subordinates, and these two subordinates, immediate superior, they are allowed to speak to their immediate superior, as well as they are allowed to speak their superior's superior. So call it as inverted V network. So these are the different kinds of formal network. These are different kinds of formal network, that is single chain network where there is a subordinate and superior communication. Wheel network where one superior is responsible for number of subordinates and their subordinates are not allowed to speak with each other. They can communicate only with their superior. Circular network where your communication flow in a circular manner and you are allowed to speak with the two adjacent subordinates. And in case of free flow network where you can communicate free with your subordinates and your decision and the speed of communication will be very fast. And last one, it is inverted V network where subordinates are allowed to speak with their immediate superior as well as superior superior. So this we call it as formal communication. And in the same way there is one more topic called informal communication. And informal communication and barriers of communication is remaining, and that particular topic we'll see in the next session. With this, with formal communication network, we'll wind up with today's session. Informal and barriers of communication we'll discuss in the